Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cooking Matters live on Facebook. Today we will be making sausage and kale soup. Yum! Let me wash my hands so we can get started. Hopefully everybody had an awesome week, long weekend, and you're staying safe, staying at home. Don't go out if you don't have to, and if you do, make sure you wash your hands and sanitize everything that's coming into your home. Dry. All right, so we're gonna start with the sausage, and the sausage that I'm using is the sweet Italian turkey sausage. So this is Italian turkey sausage. I didn't grab the spicy one because I think it will be too much spice. So if you're watching your heartburn, get the mild one or the sweet one. And then what I'm doing is just removing it from the casing, just using some scissors, just cutting it. And that's it. So now let me go ahead and open it. And the casing is removed. I'm gonna keep doing that with all the sausage links that we're using. And just really easy with the scissor. You can also use a knife, but I feel it's so much easier with your kitchen scissors. And I know these don't look like kitchen scissors, but these are my designated scissors. And I'm just removing the skin, the casing, and up to the next one. And if you're making a small portion just for yourself, just 1 or 2 sausages will work. If you're making a lot, for a bigger portion, then yes, go ahead and use them all. That's what I'm going to do right now. Removing the casing from the sausage. Just cutting it and removing it. There we go. Let me go ahead and turn on my stove over here, so you can start getting heat up. Let's warm it up. And again, there you go. And removing the casing. This is trash, and then I'm going to bring it over to my pan. And instead of using a different pan, since we're making a soup, everything's going to go in the same one. So my pot is on. Let me go ahead and add a little bit of cooking spray. Now we're going to bring our sausage over. I'm just going to drop it inside. You can either cut it with your fingers because it falls apart, or you can cut it with the spoon once it's inside. Alright, now I'm coming in with the spoon and just lightly breaking them. And since it's turkey, it's not going to brown a lot, but you will see the change in color. That's how you know it's cooked. And just have it on medium heat, medium high. So I want my pot to get warm. And I'm kind of just using my spoon to break the sausage. And it's lightly browning. You can see a difference in color.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
So the pink is still raw, and the brown on the outside, that's cooking already.
Nice.
Put our flame a little bit higher. Now we are going to cut our onion and some garlic cloves to go in our soup.
How many cloves do you have, Carolyn?
3.
3. Okay.
It's easier to manage when you cut them into small pieces. Okay. So I'm going to use 1/4 of my onion. Making sure it's nice and clean. Also keeping an eye on our sausage so it doesn't burn. When I come and see all the juices that's releasing, and all of this is going to be in our soup.
Oh, oops, sorry people.
The sausage is changing color.
Yeah, not browning, but
it's cooking. You can
cooking,
see a different color. It means it's cooking. And then you're just going to move it around, and the same thing, use your spoon to break it apart. So as you can tell, this is going to be a chunky soup, full of flavor. And again, if you are vegetarian, you do not need to put the turkey sausage. You can just add more veggies, or even add tofu as your protein. So this soup is very versatile. You can substitute ingredients for others, or just add more of one ingredient.
if you use tofu for this, do you use the firm or the soft?
I suggest the firm one so you can cook it
Okay,
and make sure it's seasoned so it can pick up all the flavors.
gotcha. Okay.
There you go. Cutting them into smaller chunks, smaller pieces.
You're kind of making them bite-sized, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, pretty much. And you can use it. You can do it with your fingers as you're putting the sausage in, or you can just use your spoon.
And you're not going to take the juice off of the pan? You're going to leave that as part of the soup?
I'm going to leave it as part of the soup, because we still need to add the garlic and the onion, and the little juices that the turkey released are going to give flavor
Okay.
to the garlic and onion. Make it nice and gentle, because then my garlic jumps.
It jumps?
You didn't do it too well. There you go. It's just easier to peel. Yeah, you just face them down on your cutting board,
Mm-hmm.
and just a light,
Just a little smash?
yeah, nice little smash.
I have a little tube that I roll them in.
And it peels them?
It takes peels the skin right off, so the peel comes off one side and the garlic clove comes out the other side.
It's a nice gadget.
I've had it forever. I don't even know where I got it from.
But you do use it.
I do use it, and it's lasted at least 20 years.
Oh wow. Alright, let me cut off the little stem part.
So are you going to dice?
Mince.
Mince, okay. Mince the...
Super tiny.
Okay. Let's see if we can see what she's doing here.
I'm cleaning my knife nice and carefully, and then always watching the fingers. Just moving back and forth,
Oh yeah, she's making those really small.
cleaning up the knife, gathering up everything in one spot, and you just go back, move your knife forward, and keep cutting. Alright, so our garlic is ready. Now our onion.
So that's just a quarter of an onion?
Mm-hmm. You can add more if you like, but I'm only doing a quarter right now.
Okay. Dicing?
Yep, nice and soft strokes going forward, moving fingers away. Sometimes it's easier to move your cutting board to the opposite side. And the same thing, just moving forward. And moving your other hand away so you don't cut your fingers.
Gotcha.
And if there's big chunks, you can always go back and cut them again. Alright, let's bring everything over. Oh, yummy.
Oh wow, totally different color all the way through.
Now it's fully cooked. Go ahead and add our garlic and our onion. Oh my god, it smells so good. Have the onion and garlic there. Let's go ahead and wash our mushrooms. And I'm using baby bella mushrooms.
Okay, so you use water to wash your mushrooms? Because I've heard two different ways. I've heard some people just use a mushroom brush and they don't put water on their mushrooms, and then
Some
other people
also use a damp cloth or paper towel that's wet
uh-huh.
to help wipe down each mushroom.
Okay.
So there's different ways to do them.
So there's no like one right way. There's just
Okay.
oh, we're back.
All right.
We're back, guys. Sorry.
All right. So we have our garlic, our onion, and our sausage browning. Go ahead and I'm gonna make sure that I don't have huge chunks of meat. As I'm going back now that it's fully cooked and making them a little bit smaller. You want the meat to fit in your spoon, right? Okay. So now that I have my mushrooms rinsed and washed, I usually go back
Dry
and
them.
dry them with the paper towel just to make sure that I got everything, that it's not, you know, dirty.
No dirt. Okay.
And
And
then some people don't use the stems, they
I was
just
gonna
use the
ask you.
cap. I do the whole thing.
Use the whole thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Is there a reason why some people don't use the stem? Is it like tougher, or is there it's just a personal preference?
It in texture it is a little bit. No, I don't want to use the word tougher because it's a mushroom, so it's soft.
Soft, yeah. So different texture then maybe?
Yeah, I mean you can still cook it, you can still eat it.
Right. Yeah, I've always used the whole thing. I don't know why people don't. So I was just
mean,
wondering with
for
the
flavor, I guess depending
oh
if you're making a specialty
Something
that
fancy.
requires X amount of certain kind of mushrooms.
gotcha.
Well, yeah, you don't want to put them underwater.
Yeah. No truffles here.
And like I said, I am using the whole mushroom, so I'm cutting the stem. Just trying to grab a mushroom as I go and slice it. Remember, my soup's gonna be chunky. So not too small, not too big, bite size.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to hold them in place so they're not rolling around. Alright, gather them all together. Now the opposite way. And I'm leaving them kind of chunky because when they cook, they shrink.
Ah.
So if you're vegetarian, you're more than welcome to double the portion, the serving size in mushrooms, because that can be your protein. Just trying to see big chunks so I can make them smaller. I'm telling you, this soup is really forgiving. Alright, let's bring the mushroom over. Alright, we're ready for our liquid pretty soon. Make everything go inside. We have our mushroom or sausage, our onion or garlic. Everything is just nice and browning. Now let's go ahead and add our chicken broth. This one's I had one open previously. And I'm adding enough liquid to make sure that everything's covered. So it takes about 1.5 of these chicken stocks. You can use vegetable stock.
I notice your stock says reduced sodium.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it healthier.
Yeah. And I'm not adding salt until the end.
Okay. Mushrooms are floating.
All right. So we're gonna get our veggies cooking, our soup going. Add a bay leaf. And while this is cooking, we're gonna continue with our zucchini and with our
Kale?
kale, the star of the show.
Nah.
And go ahead and bring everything over so we can rinse it. And again, you can add more vegetables. You can add sweet potatoes, you can add potatoes, you can add red potatoes, you can add broccoli. And I'm rinsing one by one. Making sure that the water goes through. Making sure there's no debris or any dirt. Alright. So now let's go ahead and cut. Let's cut our zucchini. And have it ready to put in our soup. when you're using protein that's raw, make sure you wash your hands and the surfaces that you're using. Alright, wash our hands. And the knife. How's the soup looking? Our ingredients getting cooked?
All the mushrooms are floating.
Go ahead and put the bit halfway.
Okay.
Alright, and what's like just a darker spot. I'm telling you, I'm always cleaning my fruits and vegetables. I'm gonna leave them,
Halves.
yeah, in halves. It's up to you if you want to put them smaller. You can add yellow squash, Mexican zucchini, more greens. If you don't want kale or you don't have kale, you can use spinach. Alright, so it's heating up. Let's go ahead and prep our kale. So what I do is just cut the vein out.
Yep.
And these, either you can use your hands or scissors or knife. Just cut them into smaller pieces. There we go. The next one. See, I always check my vegetables. Sometimes they're kind of dry.
Okay, so you're picking off the dry parts,
Yeah,
or the
the
yellow?
dry, the yellowish parts. The stuff that I wouldn't eat. Like, this is not appealing. I wouldn't eat it. I
Okay.
wouldn't serve it.
Okay.
And then with the knife, I'm just going through the middle
I'm
and
cutting out
following the vein.
the. Okay.
And that's it. Comes out by itself. Paying attention to the back too. Just into smaller pieces. Again, you can use scissors, your hands, a knife, whatever you have handy, whatever you want to use. But we are cutting our kale into small chunks. And it's going to go in our soup. We've added a sausage, a turkey sausage. We've added mushrooms, zucchini, onion, garlic. It's time to bring out all the veggies out. I also saw one fun way how to take out the stem out of the
Kale?
either the kale or the collard greens because of the thick stem.
Yeah.
So they had a coriander. Is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
But with bigger holes. Obviously, you can't do it because it's smaller here. But you would put them through the holes,
And it would.
and then just pull it out, and then you will have all the leaves
Would just
inside.
fall inside.
Isn't that cool?
That would be just fun to do.
Nice way to clean your kale and your collard greens and
A
all
fun
your
way
other
to do it,
greens.
yeah.
I think that's cool.
I'm in for anything that makes it fun.
Or either you can just grab both sides and work your way down. There's different ways. Whichever way you feel comfortable, whichever way you like. We're all learning how to cook together. Nobody's a pro here.
I don't know. I learned a lot from you, Carolina.
Four more. You see one more and put it in the soup and see how it looks. If we need more kale, then we'll come over and get more kale.
You know, when this gets warm or starts cooking, it's going to get smaller, right?
Mm-hmm. Like the spinach, they cook and they shrink.
Yeah.
So you want bite size. You want your food to fit in your spoon. Alright. Looking good.
Oh, yeah. Now it's starting to... My pant leg is... There we go. Sorry, guys. What about carrots? Would carrots go in this?
Yep. Any vegetables that you have.
Any vegetable. Okay.
Any vegetables.
So you don't have to worry about the flavors not mixing well.
This is a really forgiving dish.
Okay.
If you want to do all veggies, you can do all veggies. You don't have to add chicken or sausage or anything like that. You can leave it all veggies.
Okay.
Looks so
Look at
pretty.
the kale just like, whoop.
I'll add the rest. Looks really pretty with the kale.
Yeah.
It makes
I
it
like,
pop.
I like the green
Mm-hmm.
showing, yeah.
All right. Let's
Okay,
go ahead
so
and
you
add
can finish that up there.
3 more leaves. And again, you can use collard greens, any other kind of greens.
Oh, what about the watermelon radish, the tops? Because they were saying that cooks up well.
Yeah, those are
So
greens.
we could use
Yep.
those. Just the tops to the radish.
Yeah.
Okay, it's starting to boil.
I think this recipe should be called cleaning out your fridge.
Ah!
Because you're basically adding all the vegetables you have, right?
Whatever you have, yeah.
Mhm. And just bringing them together. Lower the heat a little bit. And it's perfect for the weather. I thought it was going to be warm today.
Yeah, me too.
Because the rain shouldn't start until later on in the week. But in some parts it started raining already.
Mm.
So with this nice cold weather, a nice warm soup.
Now I want to go home and make soup.
Yeah, same here. I think I have everything to make soup. For the same reason, I'm like, I need something nice and warm. And we have all our veggies. And our kale.
Oh, it's just kind of wilting in there. Oh, that looks so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see this really good, but that green's getting really nice and bright.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm also gonna add a can of white beans that I previously opened, and I'm bringing to the sink to drain and rinse.
You're putting the beans along with the meat. Now you could do just beans and no meat for your protein.
You know what, before the beans, let's go ahead and add the pasta, because the pasta takes 5 to 7 minutes.
Oh,
This is a
I
really,
forgot it had pasta. There's so much in there.
really busy dish.
You really don't need the pasta.
Okay, we're gonna add the pasta. Finish rinsing the beans. And you can add any light colored beans like pinto beans. I feel that the light colored beans go with
Better?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the turkey?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was reading up on it. I was like, can I put any kind of beans? It's a soup full of protein and
That's a big
vegetables.
pot too. That's a lot.
Okay, half a teaspoon of sage.
Can you use fresh sage or does it
Oh
have
yes,
to be?
if you have fresh sage, go ahead and use it. All the herbs, everything that you have at home, if it's fresh, the better. Thyme and chicken bouillon. Half a tablespoon. Then I try it, and then we can add more. Mix everything in. Super chunky, super hearty. The beans, the turkey sausage, the pasta, the kale, the mushrooms.
Bay leaf popping up.
Grab a spoon.
Do they have a spoon?
A tiny bit more salt, but it's delicious. Really good.
So the bouillon is the salt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you don't have bouillon, could you just put your salt in?
Yep, your salt. And that's why we just do it until the end. And we rinsed our beans, making sure they don't have a lot of salt, and also our chicken stock.
With reduced sodium.
Reduced sodium. I'm basically just waiting for the pasta. But it's a nice, simple recipe. Basically cleaning out your fridge, cleaning out all the veggies that you have there, and adding them to the soup.
Who's hungry?
And the bay leaf, I added for flavor, but it also, bay leaves tea are good to alleviate cold and flu symptoms, something that we're all trying to avoid right now. So if you have bay leaves, add them to your soup, to your stews, for flavor, for health benefits as well. It relieves bloating and gas. We can have some tea or add it in our soups. It's a painkiller. It reduces fever. So a lot of health benefits. I had to research that up because I cook usually with bay leaves, but because my grandma taught me.
Oh, I'm the same way. Grandma said.
Yep. And you just keep the tradition. Really good. How's the pasta looking? I think it's a little bit more.
Are you looking at the color of the pasta or the firmness?
Both. And usually when pasta cooks, it gets larger in size and thicker. So if you want to add wheat pasta, you can do that too. Or I know there's zucchini pasta, black bean pasta. If you want to add any of that or not add any at all, it's your choice as well. But there you have it, nice, simple sausage and kale soup.
Would you garnish with anything? Or just leave it as is? Like a little Parmesan or...
If you like, I know there's some people that are lactose intolerant
So they
and
would,
won't
yeah.
prefer any kind of cheese.
Right.
I would leave it as is. I'm one of those people that's lactose intolerant. So I'll leave it as is. Trying to get more sausage here.
It's sunk to the bottom.
There's the plating for the close-up. Sausage and kale soup.
Nice.
There you have it, friends. That was today's recipe. Join us next week. We will be making pesto minestrone soup. We're gonna keep it up with soup because it's nice, cozy weather. We're gonna eat nice and healthy meals.
Nice.
So we're gonna go ahead and clean up because Richard goes live at 4. Also, happy birthday, Richard. See you later. Bye.